After watching a fuck ton of anime on Netflix, YouTube, and the interwebs, the impending release of DLC that will say go fuck yourself when we ask if it'll answer all of our questions, and the inevitable repackaged spin-offs from Japanese EA, yeah, grab your Estus and your Keyblades because it's time we talked about these two elephants in the room. Now here's the thing, they have nothing in common from characters to world building to even mood, but they have such compelling narrative techniques that just makes me want to talk about where they shine and where they fuck up, and they tend to do the same thing. Let's start with what they both do. They both have this way of raising questions that make us hungry. When Riku and Mickey were trapped behind the door to who Namine was, why Organization 13 suddenly pops up in Chain of Memories, and why they're suddenly here. Who are these people? Oh my god, why are these Heartless white? Why does this guy think he can just ask people why they're white? Who is Gwyn? What is the First Flame? Why did that happen to the Witch of Izalith? If Nito really is neat or no? Important questions that both franchises have in similar then different ways of tackling. But ultimately, Dark Souls stuck to its guns and kept up the goods. In a lot of ways, Kingdom Hearts started off better than Dark Souls ever could, because the way Souls raised questions was so impersonal and difficult to slodge through. I mean, before I popped my Dark Souls cherry, that game was fucking hard! It crushed me, and the dialogue showed me that not only did the characters not give a shit who I was, but neither did the world. Everybody was just trying to kill me and they looked like jerky. I was not some protagonist, but some sort of statistic. I had little to no desire to play until some friends got me into it, and it was magnificent. Spanking these gargoyles until they called me daddy, making Sense Fortress my bitch, pinning a giant woman in armor to the wall and biting her ears, oh man, and getting Dan Orlando to the home of the gods and their legendary knights, Pikachu and Snorlax. This game was great, and the lore hidden within the bits and pieces of the items were great. Oh man, this game was good. But it was good in a way that Kingdom Hearts wasn't. Kingdom Hearts was successful in ways that Dark Souls could not be. Kingdom Hearts made you feel relevant playing in the clown shoes and parachute pants of Sora, and it just wanted to cheer you up. It wanted to evoke nostalgia. It wanted you to feel melancholy in a way that only a Japanese RPG could. It had you feeling things by the end, which made you realize that by the end it was not you who was playing the game, but it was in fact the game playing you. From the way it made you feel with the rivalry with Riku to Sora's feelings for Kairi, to the meaning of true friends who literally drop everything they're supposed to be doing to help you once the chips fall down. But once the game played you, you got hungry. You wanted answers, and then a year later Chain of Memories comes out, and oh boy, this game is nothing like Kingdom Hearts, but who gives a fuck? We just want our questions answered back then, and it only gave us more questions in response to those answers. It was a winning formula, but they abandoned it. See, rather than bring up more questions, they did what they shouldn't have done. For the price of your money, your soul, and your brand loyalty, you could have your questions answered in the form of a spin-off game that will answer questions like, who's Roxas? Why can he wield two Keyblades? What's that cinematic at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2? And why do all these enigmatic words popping up make me shake like a vibrator? Why do I feel so empty now that I've seen all these spin-offs and have all my questions answered? Have you seen the lore dump videos of the Kingdom Hearts series? Seriously, you have to pause at some point and ask yourself, why? And where Kingdom Hearts succeeds then fails, Dark Souls fails then succeeds. Going through Lordran and seeing these item descriptions and the tragic stories of bosses you killed or people coming through these torn up places where people used to live, watching every NPC you end up sympathizing with or falling for die, you get this melancholy that Kingdom Hearts made you feel. You get this tragedy, but you feel proud, because despite crestfallen douche spice telling you that you're nothing but a statistic, you press onward. You made an impersonal, rivalry-less story more personal, and the choice you made at the end felt more powerful, or noble, depending on what you chose. You felt the power of Dan Orlando despite its fall from grace. You felt the tragedy of New Londo, and while you will have to go through a lore video or two to get the full scope, I guarantee you will seek out these videos because you want to, not because you have to. And that's the thing that Kingdom Hearts failed to do. It failed to keep us hungry, captivated, and somewhere down the line, some of us fell out of love with the series. Instead of giving us the third game or more questions, it gave us spin-off after a spin-off to answer all of these questions, until this day still dangles the third game over our heads like some sort of fishhook made by Jack Sparrow. Dark Souls didn't tell us about the Way of White, who Pinwheel was, never told us about Seath and his desperation to live, or even the tragedy of New Londo. If Solaire was really Gwyn's firstborn, Londor or Drangleic, or even Astora. So we looked for the answers ourselves. Every time we sought an answer, we ended up satisfied and happy, even though we will probably never have all of our questions answered by the time the Ringed City DLC ends. We're fine with that. because we have our own thoughts and ideas as to what really happened, and the authors and the creators just let us fill in the gaps ourselves instead of establishing some sort of canon. Because let me be honest, I've seen the Dark Horse comics canons that tells you a thing or two about Aldrich. Let me tell you something, it is not impressive, just avoid it. Kingdom Hearts has fallen into a trap where they feel that all loose ends need to be tied up, and this is their philosophy. With this philosophy, they sell games by the fuckload, and when they do, the story and our feelings for the series suffers. Seriously, the last Kingdom Hearts game I actually bought was Birth by Sleep, and it had the same effect on me that Kingdom Hearts 1 did at the end, and it was simply amazing. But even Birth by Sleep was a maybe for me when it came out. Because of 358 divided by 2 or whatever the actual name was, who fucking cares? Anyway, these spin-offs have turned me off from the series very much so, and I'm just waiting for the third entry. I don't want all of my questions answered for Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't even care who most of these characters are, and that's the sad thing about this series. It thinks you care, it thinks we care, but it doesn't account for the fact that a lot of us have grown up. Look, neither game is perfect, but Dark Souls tells its stories in a very subtle way. It keeps you hungry and begging for these questions to be answered, even though not all of them are going to be answered. It has you looking for them, not because you have to, but because you want to. You're going to understand what this game is and what it means when you play the game. You're going to understand a lot of the things that happen in the story that's hidden within it. You know, Dark Souls doesn't compromise what it is. It's an action RPG with a few story elements tacked on at the end of the day. And when you read the few spin-offs it has, you might be disappointed. And that's why I believe that it's not a part of the canon lore. Kingdom Hearts is a game made to sell merchandise and stuff and even more games. It's a business tactic, and a lot of the things they sell are very pretty, very nice, and I love them, but the artwork has become less of an Enigma boy in the ocean and more of a, hey, look at this emo teen falling out in the water, cool, huh? Look, Dark Souls isn't going to answer all of my questions, and I'm fine with that. The Kingdom Hearts, well, I guarantee you that in the third game, there's going to be an ending cutscene with somebody walking in some strange way towards some new protagonists or some new people. This guy's not going to have his face shown, and a bunch of enigmatic words are going to show up, and you're going to be shaking like a vibrator wondering who these people are if you're new to the series or excited for the series in a way that I can't be anymore. Anyway, that's my food for thought. See you next week.